What's up, everybody? It is Sunday afternoon. I'm here in Lomita, California. Every time I come here, I have that song going through my head. Lomita, I just met a girl named Lomita. And I think I just got banned in 7 states. And I'm in trouble with just about everybody. I'm not going to sing that song again. But Lomita is a very interesting place. So I'm going to give you a guided tour. You know, the interesting thing, one of the many interesting things about this particular community is that it's some of the sign markers indicate city of Lomita, that this is a city, which it probably is, but it isn't. So if you really want to understand, see a microcosm of Los Angeles, here it is, because it is actually an unincorporated area of LA County, but it claims to be a city. Everything in LA is like that. So I'm going to, I got some other stuff I want to talk about here that is kind of a serious nature, but we'll give a little tour. All right, so here we are, PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. The legendary PCH goes down to Long Beach. You don't have to take PCH all the way down, but if you care to take the scenic route and just do a segment of it, that's cool, or whatever you want to do. I couldn't care less. But the interesting thing about Lomita, this is one of those places where it's like, man, this place has got everything. And I'm going to show you something up there. I don't know if you can see it here, and I don't have a zoom lens, but there's a Shell station up there. Before I kind of segue into some of the serious stuff I want to talk about here. But this is kind of a working class community, which there's a certain positive feeling that I have. And it's not just because this area reminds me of where I grew up. I can't, what is the word I'm looking for? What is that word? It's not comfortable. I just think there's a general kind of functionality about things here. I think that's the word I'm looking for. But the functionality part, nonetheless, is part of the problem, because that is the matrix. All of these people are functionaries of the matrix. In other words, they do what the matrix, exactly what the matrix tells them in order to get their meager benefits. And they enforce all of that upon the rest of us and enforce limiting beliefs upon the rest of us. Okay, there it is, Circle K. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of humor encoded in the infrastructure of LA County. That is like the grandest Circle K I've ever seen. Literally, when you walk in there, it's like, oh my God, this place has got everything. They have even got a Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, 10 calories on tap. It's always there. It's always sweet. Everything works. You see, they've got the lottery thing. All those lights are shining bright. That place has got everything. Have you ever seen a Circle K with 2 stories like that? Anyway, I'm digressing. Hopefully, you guys appreciate my sense of humor. But as I said before, I do have some serious stuff to talk about on today's video. All right. So, like I've said before, I'm kind of winging it on these videos. And as time goes on, I think they'll just kind of naturally become more streamlined. Some of my other projects, I'm a bit more planned and scripted, but I don't know. I kind of like both sides of that have their advantages. But as I've talked about in other videos, I read energy. I'm deeply spiritual. I am religious. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that for me here. But this is coming from a very deep place. But it's not simply a matter of reading energy, but interpreting events and what they actually mean. But this is mostly happy for me and fellow travelers, spiritual people, good people, nice people, whatever, religious people. But I'm going to tell you, this is a powerful statement of faith that I'm making right now. And I know I'm not alone in this. In the same way that I know I'm not alone in terms of what the recent 11/11 event meant in terms of a massive reset towards love, energy. And I think it's only the beginning. So let me just come out and say it again. It's a powerful statement, but something that I prayed for, and I think others have prayed for too, for a very long time, at least the past 10 or 15 years, is the return of Jesus, is for Jesus to come back. And I believe my prayers have been answered. And, they say faith is accepting the mystery of things and not always needing every answer to believe. But, I don't know exactly what it is that led me to this particular conclusion. Well, no, let me just say it. Obviously, the reopening of Notre Dame in Paris is a big bearing on this, but it's much, much deeper than that. There's all kinds of signs out there. I probably can't get through all of them, but I just believe it. I allow the Holy Spirit to work through me, and by so doing, I just want to do God's work, is the bottom line. So I do believe we are now entering a messianic age of a global scale. I believe our prayers have been answered, and Jesus is returning. The light of Christ has returned to the world. The past 15 years, 10 or 15 years, have been, Jesus has been absent from our world. And I don't know if I would say God has been absent, but Jesus has definitely been. It has been a very, very dark world that we've lived in. And if you don't agree with me about that, I don't know if we can communicate. To be honest with you, it may be that there might be something I need to clarify in my message here, but I mean, I don't know at this point how no one sees that. So the good news of all of that, and there's some very powerfully good news about all of this, because again, it really is about interpreting energy and translating energy and interpreting events, because not everything is what it appears to be, and not everything is communicated to us left and right. Sometimes it comes down sideways and in puzzles and riddles and things like that. And everybody can do this. Everybody has the genius gene that you can do that. But anyway, here's what I really want to say about all of that. Throughout my lifetime, I believe Jesus has been present in our world. Certainly when I was a child growing up, as difficult as things were when I was a child, I never doubted any of that. I was angry over a lot of things, but I never doubted God's love for me, and I never doubted Jesus' presence in all of our lives and in the world. But there's very good news here, and that is, I think, as I can recall how much better things were, and not just because I'm looking at them through a kind of hazy lens of sentiment, but because they really were better. Things are now going to be better. This present age that we're now living in, that we're on the cusp of incredible things in the future, it's going to be even better. People are going to dream again, and people are going to realize their dreams, and people are going to dream things that they never believed they could dream before. The bad news of that is there are going to be some left behind. And I think Lomita here is a good setting for this because I don't know. I mean, as I say, there's some, it's a nice area. What am I trying to say here? These people, they're just, I don't know. I think if you're a Christian, then you want to save everybody. And the way to do that, the way to really feel like you're doing God's work in that way is to live in the truth. Because that way, you know that you're always telling the truth. And that way, you know, not to be flippant about it, but they can't come back and say, you didn't warn us, because obviously we did many times. I mean, it's in the book of Revelation. I mean, is there literally going to be 144,000 saved? No, but it's going to be a very specific number of people are going to be saved, and it's probably going to be less than the people left behind who are not going to be on this train. It's sad. I don't like that, but these are the type of people that are not going to get it. Because again, like I said at the opening of this video, and I think I'm going to close it here, these are low vibrational people. And I know myself, someone who is deeply spiritual and who meditates and is getting closer, if not already arriving at mastering, keeping a high vibration consistently all the time. I can feel it. I can feel my vibration lowering when I'm around these people. Again, these people don't have present moment awareness. And like, if you were to say to anybody here, it's like, again, it's not coming from a place of hate, right? It's just gotta be blunt sometimes. If you want to save people, again, live in the truth and realize that sometimes that requires being blunt. That the idea of present and future, no, let me put that a different way. The idea of past and future are both artificial constructs. They really are. They exist in some sense, but they're really the only thing that is actually real is now. And if you were to explain something like that to some of the people who live around here, the matrix workers, they would, oh yeah, sure, that's interesting. You're sure, yeah, I get what you mean. But they don't. They don't, because the truth of it is they're living in a delusional mindset. In that sense, it's definitely true that the inmates are running the asylum, because everything to them is past and future. And that's why they can't assess anything that's going on around them or in their lives with any sense of emotional, any emotional sense or any place of feeling. And that's ultimately why they don't interpret things correctly. That's one of the great paradoxes, that again, people are getting this. People are waking up, which is another sign of many as to why I believe without a doubt, there's no reason to prove it, that Jesus has returned. Jesus, wherever he is, we're living in a messianic age, and the light of Christ has returned to earth. And more people are awakening, and our prayers are being answered. So it's onward and upward from here as far as I'm concerned. So I think I made my point there. It's a matter of, if you're like me and you're high vibe, when you're around low vibrational people, it's just a matter of not letting their energy affect you. And it's something, it doesn't get easier, but it does become quicker to have the tools, to learn the tools, to develop your own tools, to recognize that and deal with it right away and not let it affect you. So, so I think I'll cut it here. Yeah, I think I'll cut it here. Maybe I'll do one more panorama shot of PCH. I got to admit, like I said before, I'm planning to buy an Alfa Romeo, and I already scheduled a test drive. And if I end up not getting the Alfa Romeo and I end up being handed a used car, a good used car by the Matrix, I'll say thank you and I'll accept it for old time's sake. This kind of stuff is cool. It's PCH. So I'm going to do a little panoramic of the legendary PCH on the way to Long Beach in Southern California. Take care, everybody.